Representative Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina. I actually thought she was different. She voted, if I recall correctly, for the impeachment. It seemed like she had a soul. It seemed like it was going okay. But somehow, you remember that movie where Al Pacino said, I try to leave, but they keep pulling me back in, or something to that effect. It seemed like that's what's happening to a whole lot of Republicans. They got a spine, and for some reason, they must have checked the polls to notice that within the Republican Party proper, the ones who vote, Donald Trump is very powerful, and nobody wants to take that stand. Nobody wants to take the moral stand. Nobody wants to take the patriotic stand to start that push back into what we ought to be. And instead, they simply cower. We have a few of them, about 10 of them, that continue to try to push on, I want you to check this out, because Nancy Mace apparently thought that she had to come out against AOC to prove her bona fides to the new Republican Party, to the real Trump Party. And how did she do that? By claiming AOC's, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, account of what happened on Insurrection Day, on the unpatriotic, seditious Insurrection Day by several Republican Trump followers, that somehow she wanted to get back at AOC because AOC exaggerated, AOC lied. Well, you know who turned out to be the liar? Check this out.
And so we go into her office, and I'm at like a 10, right? Like I am at a full 10, fight or flight, thought I was going to die like 10 minutes ago, then thought I was going to die again, because I have to tell you, we're outside in this hallway alone. I'm banging on this door, and I'm thinking, and I'm fully expecting one of these insurrectionists to turn the corner with a gun, and that it would be over again.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez described her terrifying experience at the Capitol on January the 6th in that Instagram Live video earlier this week. And ever since, conservative media has been trying to smear her as a liar, claiming she exaggerated how much danger she was in because she was not at the Capitol building, which the rioters breached, but in a nearby office building on the Capitol complex. And now her Republican colleague, Nancy Mace of South Carolina, has joined the bad faith attacks on AOC's credibility, tweeting yesterday, quote, I'm 2 doors down from AOC and no insurrectionist stormed our hallway, along with a Fox News article about AOC facing backlash for her account of the events. Nancy Mace piled on even further in an interview on Fox News that afternoon.
Not at one moment during the events of January 6th did any rioter or any insurrectionist come down the hallways where our offices are located. I initially, took to task the press for making these claims, taking these claims to apocalyptic levels, and all I did was state the facts. I live in reality. I deal with facts and not fiction. And I said that there were no rioters in the hallways of Cannon. I'm 2 doors down from you. And she lost it today. She doesn't deal in reality. She hasn't been doing that today. I think it's really important that we take members to task when they're not being honest with the American people.
Hold on. First off, AOC never claimed there were insurrectionists in her hallway. But more importantly, in terms of the threat, Nancy Mace was there that day, too. So what did she say about it at the time? Well, in the midst of the riots on January the 6th, she tweeted about, quote, evacuating her office in Cannon due to a nearby threat. A nearby threat. The next morning, she described the danger she felt she was in.
At one point, when we were evacuated because of the bomb threat, the pipe bomb threat, I was stuck in a narrow tunnel with 100 other people, staff, and members of Congress. It was a very dangerous situation. Lives were put at risk. And my message to Americans today is it was a very sad day in our nation's history.
It was a very dangerous situation. Mace gave more details to a South Carolina newspaper that day, saying she barricaded herself inside her office during the attack, fearing that Trump supporters she had seen staying at her hotel might target her. After she voted to certify the electoral vote, Mace said she decided to sleep in her office that night. In fact, she was so fearful in the wake of the attack that she told a local news station she intended to carry a gun on Capitol Hill, saying, quote, I will not be put in that situation again. So, to be clear, Nancy Mace wants to carry a gun and barricaded herself in her office. but AOC is lying about and exaggerating the threat. These people are shameful. We all know the attackers were spread out across the complex. We've seen the images, and the feds are seeing data like this. Those dots are the cell phone locations of insurrectionists inside the Capitol building on January the 6th. It's part of a remarkable set of data being used to identify individuals in the mob with the help of Big Brother.
Now, it behooves me. Donald Trump has taught his PU a lot. And this is what he's taught them. Irrespective of all the evidence out there, you may be on tape, you may be on video, you may have written something, you may have tweeted something, you may have texted something. It doesn't really matter. Just lie. And even if the evidence stares you in the face, lie. Because if you live in an alternate state of reality, reality is what you've written, what you've texted, what's on video, and all those things, that's reality. But you're in an alternate state of reality, and the people who follow you are happy to live in an alternate state of reality, and thus you don't have to abide by reality. I thought Nancy Mace was different. I thought she was going to be the change. She's young. She's new. I thought she was going to be the change, the new Republican. It turns out that they are so fearful of their base that they won't do it. Change party, girl. The Democratic Party is available, from what they tell me, to people that are blue, to people that are conservative, to people that are progressive, and fight your morals through. Fight what you believe in. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.